I'll go ahead and record this, so if he wants to jump on later, watch it later. All right, so we're going to take week 12 words. Are you guys ready? Easy peasy words. A lot of chewer words. All right. Callie, do you know your 12 words? Okay. Then I'm just going to call them out. Number 1, adventure. Adventure. He had a great adventure in the woods. Now, one piece of hair that is just being all crazy today. Number 2, swings. Swings. I like to play on the swings. Number 3, sculpture. Sculpture. There's always a sculpture outside of office buildings, it seems like. Sculpture. Number 4, shown. Shown. He has shown great progress in his grades. Shown. Can you guys hear me and understand me? Okay. Number 5, omnivore. Omnivore. A dog is an omnivore. It eats both plants and animals. It's true, dogs eat grass, which is plants, so it's an omnivore. All right, number 6, slide. Slide. Slide is a piece of equipment on a playground. Slide. Number 7, moisture. Moisture. There was a lot of moisture in the bathroom after my shower. Moisture. Number 8, coach. Coach. My coach told me good job today. Coach. Oh, that's better. 9, lecture. Lecture. Most college professors have lecture for classes. Number 10, goal. Goal. He scored a goal in his soccer game. Goal. Number 11, carnivore. Carnivore. A carnivore eats only meat. Carnivore. Number 12, past your. pasture. The cows are out in the pasture. Number 13. Puncture. Puncture. He punctured the tire with a nail.
13 is puncture.
Puncture. All right. Number 14. Became. Became. That old house became beautiful when they redid it. Became. Callie, honey, you okay? Your allergies cutting up pretty bad? Oh, I know that's miserable feeling.
I was outside with a lot of pollen yesterday.
Remember
Oh,
seeing it or no? Just asking. Because my sister and brother are being loud right now.
well, as long as you keep muted, you're okay. All right. What number are we on? 15? Minutes. Minutes. Children count down the minutes till the end of school. Minutes. I know all of y'all do. 16. Herbivore. 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 An herbivore eats plants.
Did you
17.
herbivore?
Herbivore. Yes, sir. Herbivore. All right, number 17. Literature. Literature. Literature is part of English. Zay, are you with me? I think you froze on me.
Say it again, please.
Literature. Literature. All right, last word, number 18. There you go. Mixture. Mixture. The mixture was very easy to put together. Mixture. Okay, do I need to repeat?
17?
Zay, you need 17? Literature. Literature. Anybody else need to repeat? All right. Bonus word number 1. Photosynthesis. Photosynthesis. And bonus word number 2, ultra sound. Ultra sound.
I wonder if I spelled photosynthesis right.
That's why they're bonus words. They're challenging.
Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. Yeah, and then that's one of our bonus words.
Yeah. Okay. So make sure you guys give your test to your mom so they can snap me a picture.
Are we doing language? No.
Um,
No.
Not today. Are we doing geography next?
last week you guys had a bunch of reading to do in language.
Mm-hmm.
Does anybody have any questions about it?
No, ma'am.
It was all pretty easy, wasn't it? Straight.
Thanks for the salt and cheese.
No, please.
So today, all I have on my books is take the test.
These are salt.
Look at week 13 spelling words. And make your flashcards. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
15, polite, peanut, soccer, backpack, decided, contain, horse, surface, produce, stretcher, preacher, pressure, closure, treasure, pioneer, immigrant, migrate. So just make flashcards with those for today. Okay? And that's all I had for language. Easy peasy today for language.
Miss Cradle,
Yes, sir.
my mom wanted to know when school's over. Like what date?
Hopefully we will get everything done by the 15th. I do want you to do one final science project, and I'm giving you to the 20th to do it, but technically all of our classwork will be done no later than the
You want us to do a Pluto project?
No. And I'll tell you when we get a little closer what the project is.
Fine.
Okay? It was either a project or take a final test on the whole book of science.
Project.
I figured you guys
Project.
I figured you guys would rather do the project.
Now, there's nothing worse than doing all stuff in the test.
Yeah, the test for science is like, I don't know, 55
Mom-
questions.
My mom said make the test about the project.
Oh,
No, the test is about the whole book. No.
No, so I figured you guys would rather do the project than take a 50 to 75 question test.
you don't want to do the test, Sasha.
What project is it?
I'll tell you next week.
Aww.
Let's
Let's
you.
get geography out. Let's review geography.
I have it
Good.
right here.
Miss Cradle,
Yes, sir.
I always write the whole thing down.
It helps it get in your brain when you do that. Okay, I know that I didn't go back and record Wyoming and Utah for you guys. I figured it wasn't a really big deal. You guys are pretty good about knowing what to underline. The only thing that I wanted to review was Wyoming. What is the largest region in Wyoming? Was anybody,
Intermontane basins.
huh?
Intermontane basins.
Well, actually, no, it's not. And even I had to look that one up. When I looked it up,
Is it the Rocky Mountains?
yep, the Rocky Mountains is
Wow.
the largest region. Yes, ma'am, Callie.
Miss Cradle, when are we gonna jump off? My sister was wondering.
I don't know. Maybe in 30 minutes.
Okay.
Okay. I will try my best to hurry. Okay, so the biggest land region in Wyoming is the Rocky Mountains.
That makes it a lot easier because it's also in Idaho.
Correct. And the largest region in Utah, that was kind of obvious, was the Colorado Plateau. Yes, Callie.
Did you put the Wyoming in? I knew that you didn't do that. I know you didn't put it on.
No, that's why I wanted to review a minute before you guys went and took the test, just to make sure if you had any questions. Okay. So the largest region is Wyoming, it's the Rocky Mountains, and the largest region in Utah is the Colorado Plateau.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then make sure, did you guys get all your rivers labeled for Wyoming? That was pretty easy, right? Yeah.
I didn't get it.
You didn't get them?
Nope. Could I see yours?
Is that close enough?
Yep.
I
One sec.
can't see it. That makes it worse.
Okay. There, how's that?
That's fine. Okay.
Miss Creedle, could you bring the map a little bit closer, please?
I'm done.
Thank you.
Bye. And Miss Creedle, I didn't get Wyoming. Oh wait. Oh
You mean Utah?
yeah.
Okay. Carson, just let me know when you're done, sweetie.
She was there before.
Done, Miss Creedle.
Okay.
Utah.
Utah.
No.
Okay. So this is the mountain ranges in Utah. Okay. This gray line on your map, those are the mountain ranges.
Miss Creedle, I can't see the rivers. There we go.
Now remember, Wyoming and Utah are two of the 4 states in the whole United States that are actually made straight from the latitude and the longitude lines. That's why their boundaries are straight.
Montana's capital is Helena.
Olympia.
You guys get all that?
No, I can't
No.
see at the bottom.
I
There.
already had that.
Wyoming is Jay.
Good job, Zay.
Utah is the Salt Lake City. Yes, sir. Yes, little sister. Stop.
Ah, right there. Green River and there we go. Now I got it all.
Okay. Excellent. Okay. All right, so Wyoming's major cities, the capital is Cheyenne, and then it has Casper, Laramie, and Gillette, or Gillette. You want to say it like the razor. Okay. Cheyenne is special because it's one of the most old historic towns, and it has the Warren Air Force Base, so it's pretty important for the country's protection. So just remember that Wyoming has the 3 rivers, the Missouri, the Colorado, and the Columbia, as well as the Green Snake in Missouri. Okay. And Utah, its major cities is Salt Lake City, Provo, and Ogden. How many of you have ever heard of the Mormon Church? No? The Mormon Church is another religion group, kind of like Baptist, Presbyterian, Methodist. You guys have all heard of those, right? Most of you guys go to a church that's non-denominational. Allison, she goes to Temple. Does anybody else go to like a Baptist or a Presbyterian or the Methodist church? Most of you go to like the Refuge. Liam, where do you go to church at, buddy? What's the name of your church?
Grace Church.
Grace Church. Zay, what's the name of your church?
Crossway Community Church.
Oh yeah, I've heard that one. Ben, where do you go to church, buddy?
Concord Church of Christ.
Cool. I've heard of that one too. Oh, lost Carson. Anyway, so the Mormon Church is another denomination of a church, but what's different about the Mormon Church is that they believe that, of course, God is the supreme being that He is, but that there is just one man who runs the whole shebang, and you all have, and everybody that goes to that church or believes in this denomination has to do what he says. It's really weird. But they also believe in different things that has been taken out of context from the Bible, and they've written their own Bible basically. And they believe that you can have multiple wives, not just one husband and one wife. They believe you can get married several times. And that there is no Holy Spirit. They don't believe in the Holy Spirit. And they, they don't believe in miracles. Sometimes it's kind of strange what they believe, but the main thing is that they believe this one man is the head of the whole entire church, this apostle, and everybody has to believe what he says and follow what he says no matter what. That he has the only direct link to God, apparently. So it's a little strange. But because they believe in certain things like having multiple wives and some other things, it has caused them to be ostracized in certain areas of the country, and most of it is out west in Utah and Nevada and Arizona area. So but so some people the one really sad thing about it is once you're born into that church, you can never leave it. So it's almost like you have to run away and escape from this lifestyle that they that you are born into. And so it's really strange. It's really sad. It's really sad. A lot of people have a hard time with it. Okay, so let's review for a minute. What is the capital of Montana? Sash.
Helena.
Very good. What is the capital of Utah?
Salt Lake City.
Sash, you got to give everybody else a chance. What is the capital of Idaho?
Boise.
Liam?
Boise.
Boise. I love saying that. Boise. Boise, Idaho. What is the capital of Washington State?
Olympia.
Olympia. And Reagan, what is the capital of Wyoming?
Cheyenne.
Diane.
Diane.
Wow, Reagan, your voice changed so much. Okay. What is the abbreviation for Washington State? Raise your
WA.
hand.
WA.
Sasha, stop calling out. WA, yes. Okay. What is the abbreviation for Idaho? Allison.
ID.
Allison, you've changed so much. ID, yes. Allison, what is the abbreviation for Montana?
MT.
Sasha, mute yourself.
Allison's not, she's muted.
That doesn't mean she can't have a chance. Liam, mute yourself. Stop this caller now. MT, yes. So Allison, now that you have a chance, what is the initials for, the abbreviation for Wyoming?
WY.
Sasha, I'm done. Stop. Okay. Carson, what's the initials for Idaho?
Idaho. Hold
Yeah.
on. I gotta find it. Really quick. ID.
Very good. Yes, Ben.
I was gonna ask if I can answer a question.
No. Yes, you can answer a question. Put the states in order, Finn.
Montana, Washington, Idaho, Wyoming, Utah.
Very good. All right. What's the largest region for Washington State? Finn?
Columbia Plateau.
Very good. What's the largest region for Utah? Zay?
The Colorado Plateau.
Very good. What's the largest region for Wyoming, Allison?
Rocky Mountain.
Yes. And Liam, what's the largest region for Utah?
Colorado Plains.
Very good.
Plateau. Or sorry.
Name me one major landform for Utah, Callie.
Miss Craig, what was the question?
What major? Give me a major landform for Utah. It's one of 4.
Colorado River?
It does. I would consider that a major landform. Somebody give me another landform. Carson.
Really quick, can I go to the restroom?
Oh, sure. Somebody give me another major land geographical border and geographical feature. Landform. It's one of 4. Ben?
For Utah?
Yeah.
Colorado River?
She already said that.
Oh.
I thought it's one of 4 states that borders are made from the latitude and the longitudinal lines. Reagan?
Green River.
Yes. Sasha?
Snake River.
No. That's not major. That's not a major. How about the mountain ranges? You can name me one of those. Or how about the largest lake? What's the largest lake?
Yellowstone
Okay.
River.
Great Salt Lake.
Yeah. Okay, so there's 2 or 3 different ones you can pick from this one. I know. Kendall, be still, honey. All right, who can name me a fact about Utah? Somebody name me a fact about Utah.
Miss Craig, I'll be right back, okay?
Okay, honey. Go, Ben.
Utah has the only mountain range to run from east to west.
Yep. That's the only mountain range that runs east to west and not north to south. Carson, name me a fact.
Its bird is the seagull.
I know. Isn't that the weirdest thing? A landlocked state to have a seagull for a bird. I think that is the
There's
weirdest.
a Great Salt Lake.
Yeah, but I mean, you think seagull, you think ocean. You don't think a lake, right? I just think that's the weirdest thing. Okay, somebody give me another fact about Utah. Greg? There's 2 more important facts about Utah that I want you to remember. Utah is important because the first transcontinental telegraph went through Ohio, had to go through Utah, and where the 2 railroads from east to west met was in Utah. Okay. So Utah is very important for connecting the East Coast and the West Coast by train and by telegraph. Okay. All right. So give me a geographical feature about Wyoming. Give me a land formation about Wyoming. Ben?
North Platte River.
North Platte River. What else? Sasha, this is where Snake River is. Okay? Snake River is Wyoming, not Utah. Reagan?
Columbia River.
It has the Columbia River. Zay?
Green River.
Yeah. What about its borders? Again, this state has geographical borders made out of the longitude and latitudinal lines. Okay, don't forget that. All right, somebody name me a fact about Wyoming. Ben, go.
World's largest hot springs is at Hot Springs Park.
World's largest hot springs. Has anybody ever seen a hot spring? When my husband was over in Bulgaria for a missions trip, he got kidney stones. And they told him that the one way to relieve the pain was to go sit in a hot spring. He had never done that before, not even in the United States. But over in Bulgaria, apparently they're pretty prevalent over there. And so he had to go sit in a hot spring. He said it was muddy. He said at first it felt gross. He said, but after a while, kind of reminded him of a jacuzzi. He said that muddy water bubbling all over the place. He said it was crazy. Somebody gave me another fact about Wyoming. Carson?
Its motto is equal rights.
Yes, motto is equal rights. Sasha, give me another fact.
It used to be illegal for a person to take a picture of a rabbit.
Isn't that hilarious? I just laughed when I heard that. I'm like, some of this stuff that people thought about a long time ago to make laws. I mean, like, this was a law written down in a book. You could not shoot a rabbit or take a picture of a rabbit unless you had a special license. I think that's so weird. Then name me another fact.
Its bird is the western meadowlark.
Yes, I noticed a lot of states have that as their bird. That must be all over. All right, so now name me some geographical land features about Idaho. Idaho. Josh, give me an Idaho landform.
Snake River.
Snake River. Ben, give me a landform.
Last I said it was outside.
Give me just a second. For Idaho?
Yes, sir, for Idaho.
Salmon River.
The Salmon River. Anybody else? Reagan?
Clearwater River.
Clearwater River, right. Okay. There's one other feature that you underline up in the first paragraph at that dot. What's the name of the canyon? It's a bad word.
Grand Canyon.
No. Hell's Canyon. Hell's Canyon is what it's called. It's deeper than the Grand Canyon. All right, so name me a fact about Idaho. Fact about
I've
Idaho.
got a fact.
All right, go.
It used to be illegal for a person to fish for trout from the back of a giraffe.
Where in the world? I want to know. Who thought of that?
And there aren't really giraffes there.
I mean, like, there's just giraffes walking around the state of Idaho. I mean, come on. How did that even become a law? I really, really, really would love to know that is. It's just, where do these people come up with these things? Give me another fact. Sash? Give me another fact about Idaho.
It used to be illegal to buy a chicken after dark unless you had permission.
From the sheriff. Yep, you had to go ask the sheriff, oh, by the way, I'm going after work. It's gonna be dark, but I have to go buy a chicken. You okay with that? You good with that? Come on, really?
Miss Friedel.
Somebody give me another fact. What? Who remembers the one about the cave? Huh? Josh?
Krytal Ice
Crystal.
Cave near America Falls.
Crystal.
Crystal.
Yeah. Crystal Ice Cave. They take the ice out of it and they use it to store meat and things. That's how cold it was back then. Nice. Okay. So give me a landform about the state of Washington. There's not too many things about Washington. Reagan?
The Quesadilla Mountain.
Cascade.
Cascade.
Cascade Mountains.
Cascade.
Right, absolutely. Liam?
Columbia River.
Columbia River. Major river. Give me one more. Sash?
River.
Which river?
Snake River.
Snake River. Archer, get your red sleeve out of there. Who remembers the name of the peninsula that's up there in Washington? Allison?
The Olympic Peninsula.
Olympic, yep, the Olympic Peninsula. But don't forget that Washington makes up part of our border, western border. So it has which ocean? Sash?
Pacific Ocean.
Right, so the Pacific Ocean is on the left side of the state. So don't forget about that. All right, give me a geographical landform of Montana. Ben, go.
Missouri River.
Yep. Josh?
Yellowstone River.
Yellowstone. What else? Reagan?
The Clark Fork River.
that's kind of less major, but yeah, there is. What's the mountain range that runs through there?
Mountain range.
Forms the whole western boundary of that state.
Rocky Mountains. Oh.
Second paragraph on your page. However, much of the western boundary runs along the say,
Bitterroot Mountain Range.
Bitterroot Mountain Range. Very good. And remember that the Continental Divide goes through Montana. All right, so give me a fact about Montana. Sash, go.
1 sec.
Miss Credo, can I go to the
Never
bathroom
mind.
real quick and then come back?
I can't read my handwriting.
Somebody give me a fact about Montana. Sally, give me a fact about Montana. Unmute, love. Unmute.
My mom hasn't printed out the pages for the facts yet.
Really?
Really?
Okay, well, you were supposed to take the test today.
She's been busy and she's been working.
Okay. Liam, give me a fact about Montana.
I don't do the facts. I only do the motto and stuff.
Well, there's always name one fact about each state on the test. There's always one fact that you have to name about each state.
He's saying the motto's his fact.
Well, what's the motto?
Trust State?
Nope. That's the nickname, Treasure State.
Oh.
What's the motto? It's real easy. Silver and gold, silver and gold.
Gold State?
Gold and silver is its motto. You ever heard of that Christmas song? Silver and gold, silver and gold. No. Okay.
Are we still on geography?
No, yeah. Just one more minute. Somebody else give me a fact.
Okay.
Allie?
Actually, do you have the papers? I'm sorry, I just forgot.
Okay. Well, look on Montana and read me a fact.
The bird is western meadowlark.
Meadowlark. Very good. All right. There's one cool fact. It has to do with grasshoppers. Who remembers that one? Okay.
Grasshopper Glacier contains the frozen remains of millions of grasshoppers.
Now, everybody knows what a glacier is? This big block of ice, like an ice mountain. Okay. There are millions of frozen grasshoppers in this glacier. Now, I want to know who had the weird job of having to stand there and count those things. Explain that to me. I don't understand. All right, Bob. You need to go count the grasshoppers so we can get a count to see how many died in the freeze. So I guess one time long ago it froze in Montana and all these grasshoppers were trying to get away and they just froze in this glacier mountain. That's just crazy. Crazy talk. And to be millions of them, there must have been a plague of. Okay. Okay. There was one other fact, and it was in 1908, the Gideons placed the first Bibles in a hotel in the city Iron Mountain, Montana. Do you know the Bibles that we're talking about? How many ever have been in a hotel and you open one of the drawers and there's a Bible sitting in there? Carson, you've seen them. Ben, you've seen them. You can walk into every hotel, motel across the United States, and you can open either a side table drawer or you can open one of the dresser drawers, and there is a full Bible in it, and it says Holy Bible, and down at the bottom it says from the Gideons. Okay, so long time ago, back in the early 1900s, there was a group of missionaries, and their job was to get the word, the Bible, out to everybody. And so they thought that the best way to do this was as hotels and inns and little sleeping places that started to build themselves across the United States, that they would leave a Bible there for anybody that needed it, as long as they left it there in the room. And I can't tell you how many people that I personally have known have said that they have gone into their hotel room with all kinds of feelings of loneliness and despair, and have seen that Bible and has been able to save them. It's like, a hand from God they felt that was reaching out to them, and they've opened up that Bible, and they were moved, and the Holy Spirit came and they gave their hearts to Jesus. Because a long time ago, these missionaries traveled across the country putting these Bibles in all the rooms. Isn't that amazing? That is amazing. I think it's amazing. I think it is. All right. So I suggest you guys study a little more on your geography before you take that test today. All right. So let's read a little bit about science and then we'll be done. Just a couple of pages.
Can I grab a highlighter?
Starlight, Starbright.
Can I grab a highlighter real quick?
Absolutely.
Hup.
Did everybody print off their book report
Yeah.
template? Okay. So that's due next week.
Okay.
Okay. Next Monday, your book report is due. So if you've not done reading your book, then you need to chop. Most of you have already told me you're done reading your book. So the minute you get your book report filled in, just go ahead and have Mom take pictures and send it to me so I can start grading those.
Okay.
All right, here we go.
Wait, hold on. I'm not.
That's fine. Lesson 13, stars and galaxies. This chapter is a little longer than what we're used to. That's why I wanted to go ahead and get started on it. Say, are you showing me your pretty eyelashes? Now I see your forehead. I think Allison's trying to stretch her back out. Are you bored, Allison? I'm bored too. I don't know, but I just love Carson's closet doors. I just think they're so cute. Those barn doors. My sister Hannah's always wanted barn doors on her closet. But her closet's tiny. She'd only get one. You guys need to get off the computer, or Mommy's asking how much longer. Everybody okay?
Yeah, my brother is going to start in 20 minutes, so.
Okay. So we'll be done at about 15. So let's read for about 15 minutes and then we'll be done. Okay. All right, let's start. Page 142.
Yeah.
Star light, star bright. He counts the number of stars. He gives them names to all of them. Psalms 147. So every star in the sky, God put there. He knows it by name. I think that's amazing. That's mind-boggling to me that God knows each one of them by name. The night sky is peppered with many tiny stars, some dim, some bright. Some of the stars we see in the sky are actual planets, but without a telescope, they look like stars. So underline that sentence.
Second sentence.
These stars surround the earth.
Miss Cradle,
Yes, sir.
can you go back?
Uh-huh.
What did we underline first?
Second sentence of the first paragraph.
Okay. Okay.
Here, Kendall.
Strike 2 for today. Yeah. Yep, strike 2.
Kendall. I told you to get dressed after you finished eating. Silly, silly children. Okay, we ready? These stars surround the earth all of the time, day and night. But our sun's light is so bright that it drowns out the light from the stars during the daytime. We can only see the stars when the earth is facing away from the sun. Underline that sentence.
What sentence?
We can only see the stars when the earth is facing away from the sun. That way, the sun's light does not drown them out. The stars are further away than the planets. They are outside of our solar system. Underline those two sentences. What is a star? A star is an object that is something like our sun. Underline that. It is a large body that produces lots of energy. Underline that sentence. Uh-oh, I lost Liam. It produces so much energy that we see its light, even though it's far, far away. There are billions, many billions of stars in the universe. Underline that sentence. New ones are discovered each day. Some have been named by man. Billions more have not. Nevertheless, God said he calls each star by name. Each of the billions of stars in the sky is important to God. That's why he has a name for each one. That isn't a surprise since there are billions of people on the earth. Each one of us has a name, and each one of us is on God's mind continually. On a cloudless night when the moon is new, meaning it's completely dark, you can see about 33,000 stars in the sky. Underline that sentence. With a fairly inexpensive telescope, you can see about 10,000. So just with your naked eye, you can see 3,000 stars. But if you have a telescope, you can see almost 100,000 stars in the sky. As we gaze at the stars, they appear to twinkle. Underline, they appear to twinkle. That's because we have an atmosphere which surrounds the earth. Underline that sentence. The particles in the atmosphere are busy moving around. Every few seconds, these particles pass between a star and our sky. Underline that. These particles pass between a star and our eye. When this happens, the star dims for a quick second as the particle passes in front of it. The star then brightens again when the particle moves away. Okay? So every time something passes in front of a star, it looks like it twinkles. It looks like it goes out and comes back. It goes out and comes back. What are they doing, Garrett? My dogs are being crazy this morning. This makes it look like the star is twinkling, but the star is really not twinkling. However, just the particles moving about in our atmosphere. Man-made satellites orbiting the Earth, like the Hubble telescope, take pictures of the stars. They are outside of our atmosphere, so they get very clear pictures. Underline that line. Our pictures here on Earth are not as clear because of our atmosphere. Different stars are visible in the sky each season as we revolve around the sun. Underline that sentence. This means we get a different view of the vast universe every few months. One of the most important stars, besides our sun, of course, is the North Star, which is named Polaris. Underline that sentence. The North Pole is always pointing towards Polaris. Underline that. So even as all of the other stars we see change, those who live in the northern hemisphere can always see the North Star. So because we live in the northern hemisphere, no matter what time of the year it is, we are able to see the North Star. How many of you have gone out and found the North Star before? Carson, I bet you guys have lots.
I found the Big Dipper.
You found the Big Dipper? Okay, that's a consolation. The North Star is usually the brightest star in the sky for us at night.
It's serious.
Garrett says if you take the two stars at the edge of the Big Dipper and go straight up from that, that's the North Star. It's usually the brightest. So get the edge of it. Oh, Liam's trying to come back. So if you find the edge of the Big Dipper and then go up from that, you should be able to find the North Star. Hey, Liam, you dropped off for there a minute, bud. We're on page 143.
Okay.
Okay. We're talking about the North Star.
I see it.
Oh, look at the picture right there beside where we were reading. That's exactly what Garrett was talking about. See, you find the two edge stars of the Big Dipper, and then you go straight up, and there's Polaris, the North Star. Look at there, Garrett was right about something.
Miss Creedle, isn't it Polaris?
Polaris.
Is he usually not right about anything?
No, he's usually right about a lot of stuff. I'm just teasing him because he's sitting right there on the couch. No, look at the word in the paragraph, Sasha, and right beside it in the paragraph is its pronunciation. Polaris. Polaris. Okay? So, also, since we know that the North Star points towards Polaris, if you can see Polaris, you know which way is north. If you ever get lost at night, you just find the North Star and you head that way and you know you're going north. But I hope you're not out wandering around at night so you don't get lost.
I do.
Yeah, but you stay close to your house, right?
No.
Boys, you three are silly. Whatever. Ugh.
I go where coyotes are.
Polaris was an important star for the navigation back when people used the star to figure out where they were and where they needed to go. Underline that sentence. Okay. Next paragraph. Polaris is a part of a group of stars called the Little Dipper. Okay.
Cradle,
Underline that sentence.
would this lesson take us 2 days or 1 day?
Oh, this lesson will probably take us 2, maybe even 3 days.
So it's for 3 days or 2?
I'm going to try and get it for 2 days, but if we have to stretch it out to another day, then it'll be okay. Okie dokie. Although many people call the Little Dipper a constellation, underline this sentence, it is not. It is actually called, hold on, I gotta sneeze.
Bless you.
I hate sneezing. It is actually called an asterism, which means it's a set of stars that form a shape that is easy to recognize. So underline those first 3 sentences of that paragraph. As you see in the photo above, Polaris and some other stars form what it looks like to be a spoon with a curved handle. You guys see that up there in that picture? See, it looks like 4 stars form a square, and then the handle kind of bends down around the side. That is the Little Dipper. This is called the Little Dipper because another set of stars form a bigger spoon shape. Not surprisingly, we call it the Big Dipper. Underline that sentence. One neat thing is that the 2 stars that point up the edge of the Big Dipper's ladle, form a line that points to Polaris. When you learn about the constellations later on in this lesson, you will learn that the Big Dipper is part of the constellation known as Ursa Major. Underline this sentence. And the Little Dipper is a part of constellation known as Ursa Minor. Okay, so those 2 form part of a constellation. All right, we'll just read the next paragraph and then we'll stop. And you guys can finish reading this on your own. Okay. All the stars appear to rotate around Polaris. Underline that sentence. To understand this concept, use an umbrella and a piece of chalk or paintbrush with glow-in-the-dark paint. Open your umbrella and look inside. You see that there are lines that make different sections of the umbrella. Those lines are a little like segments that astronomers use to divide up the sky for each month. Okay. How do the astronomers divide up the sky? They have imaginary lines. Okay, so underline that sentence. Every month represents a different segment. The very tip top where the pole comes through the umbrella is where Polaris is located.
Miss Cradle, my iPad is about to die.
All right, so let me just finish this paragraph and then we'll be done.
Bye.
All right. Finish reading down to page 146. I'm going to go put it on home reminder. All right, I'm going to finish this paragraph and then we'll be done. Okay.
Okay.
Take your chalk or paint and make a mark around the center to make Polaris. Next, use your chalk or paint to make the star patterns around the inside of the umbrella. You can spin the umbrella around and watch all the stars move around Polaris, the center. Focus your eyes on one segment of the umbrella. Within that segment are the stars you are able to see from the north that month. When you turn your umbrella, different stars come into view. The North Star Polaris remains in the same spot. If you look up at Polaris as you turn it, it looks like if all the stars are turning around Polaris. This is what it looks like to view the stars from the northern hemisphere. The stars seem to rotate around Polaris. So just underline that last sentence. Okay, I'm going to go on Homeschool Minder and put in the rest of the work for today and the rest of the week. So I just need you guys to finish reading from the bottom of page 146. All right. Make sure you underline the bold-faced words and any information you think is important. I will see you tomorrow, and we will pick up science then.
I'm gonna stay here.
All right.
We don't
Any other questions?
test for language or no?
Do
Or
what?
test for Chase language or do you?
No, Mom needs to give him a spelling test.
Okay.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
I'm staying.
Toodles.
Bye.
Bye.
How do I leave? Oh, there you go.
I'm waiting for you to leave.